Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our goal here is pretty straightforward. Cut through all the noise, the daily flood of info, and really get to the heart of what's going on in the world. Today, we're taking a bit of a journey, looking at quite a mix of global happenings. We've got major conflicts, big environmental stuff, even things disrupting daily life, and, yes, some moments of global connection, too. It's a lot, but we're here to help piece it together.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the point, isn't it? Seeing how these different stories, maybe a big international crisis or something seemingly small and local, how they actually connect. Understanding those links, well, that's how you get a real feel for the bigger picture. That's what we want to do today, shed some light on those connections.
Okay, let's dive right in then. We have to start with some pretty serious developments on the global stage. The conflict between Israel and Iran, it's really escalated dramatically.
It really has. We're talking about a dangerous new phase here.
Exactly. Iran launched direct missile strikes targeting Israel. And we know there was a confirmed hit on Soroka Hospital in Beersheba that caused, well, significant damage and, unfortunately, injuries, too. This wasn't just symbolic.
No, not at all. And if you step back, this moves way beyond the kind of proxy fighting we've often seen. This is direct state-on-state. Israel's reaction was swift and very strategic. They went right after Iran's nuclear facilities.
Key nuclear sites, right?
Key sites, yes. Like the Oryk heavy water reactor that's important for potential plutonium paths, and the Natanz facility, which is central to their uranium enrichment. Hitting sites like these, especially nuclear ones, it just fundamentally changes the rules of the game in the region. It's a line many worried about being crossed.
And the ripples, they go way beyond just Israel and Iran. The U.S. is now actively considering its own military options.
That's right. And what's really telling is that their potential response seems to hinge on a very specific capability.
The bunker buster bomb.
Precisely. Whether a specific type of bunker buster could actually take out Iran's Fordo facility, and Fordo, remember, is built deep inside a mountain, extremely hard to hit. So the fact that this is even on the table tells you how serious the options being weighed are.
It really does. So you've got these military calculations happening, but what about diplomacy? Is anything happening there?
Well, that's the other crucial part. It raises this huge question, doesn't it? How do you balance trying to deter further action with preventing things from spiraling completely out of control? So even as these military options are discussed, European foreign ministers are actually planning to meet with Iran's foreign minister in Geneva.
Oh, okay, so a dual-track approach.
Exactly. Urgent diplomacy happening right alongside the military posturing. It shows just how complex and, frankly, how urgent everyone feels the situation is. Every move counts right now.
Okay, so shifting from that high-level conflict but staying in the region, there's also a significant humanitarian effort underway. A civilian-led thing.
Yeah, the Global March to Gaza, it started in Cairo, and the goal is to reach the Rafah border crossing.
And what are they hoping to achieve specifically?
Their aims are very clear. They want to establish a humanitarian corridor, basically, to get aid into Gaza. They're calling for an end to the blockade, and most importantly, trying to deliver essential supplies, food, medicine to people who desperately need it. It really highlights the power of ordinary people trying to make a difference when official channels might be blocked or too slow. Civilian advocacy in action.
Right. A powerful statement. Okay, let's pivot now. From human conflicts and efforts to something, well, planetary in scale.
Right.
The environment.
And this is a big one, unfolding mostly out of sight for many. We're talking about the global coral bleaching event that's been going on since 2023.
An ongoing disaster, really. And the scale is just staggering. You mentioned it affects something like 84% of the Earth's coral reefs.
That's the figure, yes. Approximately 84%. It started back in February 2023, and it's already the most widespread bleaching event we've ever recorded. And the main cause, marine scientists are clear on this, it's rising ocean temperatures, linked directly to, well, human-caused climate change.
And the really worrying part.
The really worrying part is that researchers have no clear idea when it might end. It's just ongoing. And the long-term consequences, they're huge. Not just for the fish and marine life, but for coastal communities worldwide that depend on reefs for protection, for food, for livelihoods. It's a silent crisis with massive implications.
Wow. Since early 2023 and no end in sight, that really puts the long-term climate challenge into perspective, doesn't it? Okay, well, on a completely different note, related to the planet, but maybe a bit more uplifting. Today is the summer solstice in the Northern Hemisphere.
That's right. Longest day of the year, officially the start of astronomical summer.
Which always feels like it should be the hottest day, but it rarely is it?
No, it's funny how that works. It's because of something called thermal inertia. Think of it like the Earth, especially the oceans, needing time to sort of uh, soak up all that extra sunlight and heat up. So even though we get the most daylight today, the peak temperatures usually lag behind, often hitting in July. The planet takes a while to warm up.
That makes sense, like a big heat sink taking time to respond.
Exactly. And, if you happen to be way up north today, somewhere like parts of Scotland or Iceland, you're getting daylight almost 24/7. Pretty amazing, really.
Incredible. Okay, so from the celestial, let's bring things back down to Earth, closer to home for some listeners. Looking at some more localized news, but things that still have quite an impact. There's been unrest in Northern Ireland recently, riots across several areas,
Yes, sparked apparently by an alleged sexual assault involving two teenagers who spoke Romanian.
and the consequences.
Well, the immediate fallout has been pretty serious. Multiple arrests have been made, we've heard reports of injuries, and significant damage to property in those areas. It kind of shows how quickly a specific local incident, especially in a place with underlying tensions like Northern Ireland, can unfortunately escalate into wider civil unrest. It's a reminder of those ongoing societal issues.
Difficult situation there.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears again, this is more practical info for travelers. Air India.
Yes. Important heads up if you're flying with them. They've canceled quite a few flights recently, both international and domestic ones.
Causing headaches for passengers, I imagine.
No doubt. The official reasons given are maintenance and operational issues, pretty standard stuff. But the key takeaway for anyone listening who might be affected is check directly with Air India. Get the latest updates from them about your flight status and what your options are for rescheduling. It's a hassle, but best to be informed.
Good advice. And staying with disruptions, but this time power-related. Residents in Bengaluru.
Yes, folks in Bangalore, be aware there are scheduled power outages happening from June 20th through the 22nd, citywide disruptions.
Not ideal for daily life. Is there a specific reason?
Actually, yes. It's not an emergency breakdown, it's planned periodic maintenance, and also some major infrastructure upgrades being done by the Karnataka Power Transmission Corporation Limited. So while it's definitely inconvenient in the short term, these kinds of upgrades are pretty essential for making the power supply more reliable in the long run, especially in a growing city.
Investing in the future, even if it means some temporary pain.
Exactly. Key areas affected include Mahalakshmi Layout, Pina, Electronic City, among others. So if you're in Bengaluru, maybe just plan around those potential outages.
Right. Now, amidst all these challenges and disruptions we've talked about, there's actually a moment of global unity being celebrated today, too.
A nice counterpoint, yeah.
It's International Yoga Day, the 11th one, actually, celebrated all over the world. And the theme this year is Yoga for One Earth, One Health.
Which really makes you think, doesn't it? About how these global cultural practices, things focused on individual well-being, can play a role in promoting a sense of harmony, even when things globally feel so fractured. The whole point of the day is to raise awareness about yoga's benefits, not just physical, but mental and spiritual, too.
And people actually get together for it.
Oh, yes, you'll see events happening everywhere. Public demonstrations in parks, community centers, people coming together. It really emphasizes yoga's ability to connect people across different cultures, focusing on balance and well-being. A nice reminder of shared human goals.
Definitely a positive note to touch on.
Yeah,
So we've covered a lot of ground today in this deep dive.
we really have.
From, major geopolitical flashpoints in the Middle East, this massive environmental crisis with the coral reefs, through to riots, flight cancellations, power cuts, and then this global celebration of yoga. It just shows how much is happening all at once, how interconnected everything is. Our aim, as always, is just to give you some clear insights into this really complex world.
And I think if we connect it all back, it's a reminder that, yes, there are huge global challenges. Things can feel overwhelming. But at the same time, there are constant efforts towards peace, towards sustainability, towards connection and well-being. It's this constant push and pull. So maybe the question we leave you with, the listener, is amidst this constant flow of information, some of it quite heavy, how do you find your own sense of balance? How do you stay informed but also find clarity and connection in such a complex world?
A great question to reflect on. We hope you continue that journey of discovery, keep asking questions, keep seeking understanding. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll catch you on the next one.